It's 8:09 on a beautiful day here in the great state of Maine. Good morning, I'm Ray Richardson, and we have a cast of characters in the studio led by the character herself, Krista Martin. Good morning, Krista.
Gee, thanks, Ray. Good morning.
Well,
how are
we're
you?
old friends. I can call you that.
We are. Thanks for having us again.
Yeah, glad to do it. So let us know who's here and why you're here.
All right.
Oh, poster. Gary, that's a great poster.
Aren't
Hold
they
that
great
thing up for the
posters?
camera. Hold that up for the camera.
We brought posters to share because this place is Grand Central Station, so I figured you could probably hang one up for us.
It is Grand Central Station. Thank you for acknowledging that.
It
We
is. It
answered
was
the phone that way.
amazing. Last time we were here, people were just coming in and out, and we were all like, wow, and parking was a nightmare, so
Yeah.
you need a bigger parking
here
lot.
early.
It's like a used car lot out there.
It is like
We
a used
actually
car lot.
auctioned off somebody's car one time, and they didn't know it.
Somehow that doesn't surprise me.
Yes, we're the Zach Morris of radio. For those of you the age 40 and older, you know what that means.
Oh, we shouldn't have laughed.
No, we don't know what
not
you're
that.
talking about. All right, well, we're here at Westbrook Strong, and I have with me Gary and Lori Reardon. I have Heather Platty and Alice Baum from St. Joseph's College, Donna LeClaire and myself. So we're just here to talk about Westbrook Strong again.
All right, I got to ask Donna before we get into this. Donna, are you watching? Come a little closer. Are you watching World Cup?
Yes.
I know you're a big soccer family.
Yes.
Is it exciting or what? Did you
Yes.
watch USA the other day?
Yes.
Oh, my God. Our neighbors were complaining we're so loud. I'm surprised you guys couldn't hear us. We had the surround sound cranked up to 47. The walls were shaking, and we were screaming at the top of our lungs.
Yes, we've been glued to the
Yeah,
TV.
It's exciting
Yes.
as heck. I love World Cup. It's just fabulous. I
us
knew you were
too.
watching it.
And Westbrook's small town, so we would hear it all across.
Yes, you would. Yeah, you probably did. And you thought it was just my normal yell. So let's talk about this very quickly. Talk about why you're doing this, what you're doing it for. St. Joe's is here today because they're playing a role in this, and we're very excited about what you guys are doing.
Thank you.
All right, now you had a radio show in college.
I sure did.
Let's
The Killer
hear-
Bee.
Let's hear the voice. Let's hear the
voice is here.
the voice is
The
here.
velvet
I guess let's
voice.
say, hey baby, hey baby, Venus flytraps in the house. Yeah. All right, so lay it out for us, Krista.
All right, well, Westbrook Strong, our road race is a 5K. It is on July 20th, and I'm going to know the time. It's starting 9:30 for the 5K, but we also have Matt's Mile, which is that morning for the kids at 9. It's a short race just around Riverbank Park, which we all think is kind of a cool little thing, too.
It is fabulous.
It's about a mile. It's about, well, I think there's a little fancy
you called it
clover
Matt's
involved.
Mile.
you
Wow,
go.
you guys are really on top of things. Well done.
My
Why
4
do
and
I-
7-year-old are in training for it right now.
Why do I have to sit beside him?
Well, and you know the thing about it is, road races are extremely popular.
They are
They're
really.
all over the place raising money, and they raise a lot of money.
Yes.
I mean, they do, and people come from all over. It's not just a local thing. People come from all over. There's one this Saturday down on Orchard Beach, honoring the life of Christopher Scott Cash, and people come from all over to run. It's a 10th anniversary run.
Wow.
So this is a big deal. People love doing it.
And we're excited about, the fact that it could be a perpetual event as well. So that's what we're really looking
Isn't that
for.
why
is
you called it the first annual?
Well, that's what we're hoping. So,
Fingers crossed.
yeah.
I'm
Maybe
in rare form today.
you
I'm
are.
sorry.
All right, between you and Gary, I give. Uncle. All right. Well,
So-
now that you guys are done beating on me, you guys can talk.
I got something in my eye here. I think all the stuff that's flying around this morning. Lori, last time you guys were here, we talked about the race and why you're doing it. And I got a lot of emails from saying, who is Matt? And, sometimes we have 12 men in the room syndrome, which is we all know who something is or what something is. So we assume everybody else knows. But
Right.
that's actually not the case because we had people from all over the country. Who is Matt? Because we're heard in all 50 states. So tell us who Matt is.
Matt was the third of our 7 children. He was just an amazing young man who, I don't know, I guess when he was probably in his early teens, had an experience that landed him in the hospital and therefore opened the door to a nursing potential degree. He found St. Joe's and absolutely loved the school.
It's a
and
beautiful campus there. People
it
are
is.
wonderful.
And I can't help but every time that we go, just feel his presence and, all the just hear the joking and the laughing that, must have gone on. He unfortunately, his life was tragically taken November 30th of this past year. he was killed by his former friend, partner. Matt had closed the door on a relationship that he knew wasn't a good one and wasn't looking back. And, you know, when they labeled it domestic violence, it really upset Gary and I because Matthew did not live his life in fear. He was happy. He, you know, didn't have to look over his shoulder. He just walked with a pep in his step.
You know, and a lot of parents will say, particularly when they lose their child, they'll look back and they'll say it was an amazing child, and a lot of parents say that. But I didn't know Matt like all of you do. I knew him. Hey, Matt, how you doing?
Right.
But he's always smiling. My son Tripp graduated with him. Tripp said, always smiling, always happy, always positive.
Always.
My son Connor knew him. Same thing. Dee Dee knew him. Same thing. They knew him well. I just sort of knew him. Hey, how you doing? And I knew he made good whoopie pies.
Yeah, he did. He did.
And so that's kind of how I knew him. But they knew him well, and they've talked a lot about it. They know you're coming in here, obviously. Talked a lot about him. But he was always somebody who made you feel better when you were around him.
And he didn't like to be in the spotlight. He did not like to be made of at all. In fact, we were sharing a story just recently. I was actually with his grandmother, and she said how she always used to tell him, Matthew, you should be so proud of yourself for, you know, whatever he did at work. And he's like, oh, Grammy, no, it's nothing. And that's how he was. He downplayed everything. And it didn't matter in what area, whether it was, it just didn't matter.
And if Matt ran into a roadblock, he'd find a way around that because he had a vision of what he wanted. And when he was really looking for that, he basically only applied for St. Joe's. And I said, Matt, what if you don't get it? He goes, if? I will go there. And, you know, he went and, you know, he really strived to study hard and get the grades that he got. Actually, up until a month and a half ago, we didn't know one single grade that he got. St. Joseph's provided us with a transcript because he said, you know what, this is my thing. I want to keep on going every semester, and he had a determination to become an RN. He passed his boards the first time, and he's like, you know, okay, now I'm a nurse. You know, he's just nonchalantly like that.
And that's an achievement. I mean, passing the RN boards are hard. I know a couple of people right now who are on their second and third try. Yeah. It's a hard thing to do. That's an achievement in itself. Yeah. Well, let's talk about St. Joe's for a moment. You guys have gotten involved with this. Obviously, you did you know Matt personally?
I had met Matt a couple times being on campus. I work in the alumni office, and he had such an impact. And I have to say, I knew Matt by virtue of my coworkers. The nursing department spoke so highly of him. He made such a large impact in such a short, 4 years on campus. Just really a superstar in his program and also amongst his classmates.
You should have had a radio show in college. You have a great voice.
I do a lot of talking.
Well done. Well done.
I work in alumni relations. That's what we do.
So you guys got involved in this. What led you to get involved in this?
Well, we actually worked with the Rairdens on this, that their desire is to start a scholarship in Matt's name, a nursing scholarship. So as Gary expressed, Matt knew that this was a calling for Matt, and to help other students in that way. So there's a goal to raise $25,000 for a nursing scholarship for a student that is in the greater Portland or Westbrook area in Matt's name, and I think that's fantastic. So we want to do everything we can to make that happen.
What will that do? $25,000 does what?
That will endow a scholarship, so that means the legacy will be there for years and years to come, that students will be receiving this aid.
And annually, what will that allow you to disperse in a scholarship?
That actually, once we endow the scholarship, that will be decided amongst the family. So once we get to that point, then we'll decide. And
Krista, Gary, Lori, Donna, where are you in the chase?
Right now, we have about $18,000. I think Lori took just shy of $18,000 up to St. Joe's a few weeks back, and through some T-shirt sales, we have another $480 in our special account that we have right now. I believe that I missed the last Westbrook Strong meeting due to my daughter's 8th grade promotion this week, but I believe that we have 80 runners right now. So
really?
I'm actively looking for
Are
sponsorship.
they from all over?
So far, they are mostly local so far. And I believe, if the numbers were right, Lisa probably has a little bit better when she catches up, but we were about 3,500 in sponsorships.
Wow.
But we have that was what we actually had in hand, but we have promissaries of, I think it was another 2,000 or so far.
So this race could put you over the top on the $25,000 endowment.
Yeah, it sure could.
Yeah,
that is our goal. That 7,000, if we could do that, but anything above and beyond is good
sure.
too, because
Right.
if we end up with $30,000, maybe they'll say, "Ooh, we can do a $1,200 scholarship."
Yeah.
We haven't let you talk yet, other than to hear your voice. So we're going to do that when we come back. We're going to take a quick break, and we will come back. It is 8:19 on a beautiful day here in the great state of Maine.
WLOB.
Ray Richardson.
8:24. Good morning. I'm Ray Richardson. A cast, and I do mean a cast of characters, from the intellectual to, well, Krista. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Wow,
I'm
it is
kidding.
a rough crowd, really, Ray?
Wow. Now I got to be nice to her. You ran a heck of a parade earlier this year, so I got to be nice to you.
Thanks.
I forgot your material.
You did forget
we'll
my
bring it to you.
material.
Yeah, we
I will find you.
Krista Martin is here. She is from Westbrook Strong in the 5K race taking place on July 20th. What time, Krista?
At 9 a.m.
9 a.m. And you've brought a group of people with you. Please reintroduce them.
I did. I have Gary and Lori Reardon with me. I also have Heather Platty and Alice Baum, Donna LeClaire, and myself.
Yourself.
Myself.
Well done. You
I have to
didn't forget
say
yourself.
again, I'm here.
So St. Joe's is in the house, and we're thrilled
We
you're
are.
here. We love St. Joe's. Love
do
going
we.
out to the camp. Well, I know you do, but
So don't we.
But
Yes.
going out to that campus is just so gorgeous out there. My kids have played soccer out there. They didn't go to St. Joe's, but But anyhow, it's a great school, and it's a treasure in the greater Portland area, no doubt about that. And we're thrilled you're involved with this. This is such a wonderful thing. So let's hear the radio voice explain how all this is going to work.
Well, we're really excited to be part of this, particularly through the Alumni Association part, where Matt graduated in 2013, and the thing about St. Joe's alumni is we're family,
Right.
And that sense of unity is really important to us. And one of the things that a lot of people have been looking towards is how do we help with this? What can we do to make a difference? And so we're putting a team together to run in Westbrook Strong 5K. We're about 25 people deep so far, and looking for more recruits.
Well, let's just ask Chris Dowdy right now. Chris Dowdy is a St. Joe's alum. He just had a new baby, so he's got to run off the baby weight.
Yeah,
That's right.
absolutely.
Yeah, that's right.
You know how that works. I never did that. I was slim till my wife got pregnant. I got bigger with her. 9 months, the
Sympathy,
baby was
yes,
gone,
the
but my
sympathy
baby
weight.
never left. So Chris Dowdy, you should run in this race.
Yes, we're signing
Couldn't
him up,
agree
Chris.
more.
And I think it's good to point out that's walk or run, so you don't have to be a runner. We're looking for walkers, and we are looking for volunteers. We've had quite a few alums who have said that maybe I'm not going to walk or run, but I'm going to volunteer to help the Raredons in Matt's memory.
That's awesome.
And as Heather mentioned earlier, if you're on the St. Joe's team, you do get a visor.
Really?
Oh, we have a full uniform.
Wow.
We do things big around.
You should have
St.
brought
Joe's.
I would have worn your visor if you had brought it in. You should have brought it in. I've been known
You have to
do
have
that
us
for
back.
company. Yeah, well, we'll be glad to do that. You're coming back anyhow at some point.
We are.
Yeah, so you guys should come back and bring a visor. It'd be great.
There you go.
Because we're on camera around the country right now.
Nice.
Give us the recruitment message very quickly for St. Joe's College.
Well, one thing that struck with me about Matt's plan to go to St. Joe's was that he only applied to go there, and he was just committed to do that. And it's funny because I remember going through the exact same process. It's the only school I applied to back when, I'll leave out when, but when I applied many years ago. And
1962?
Yeah.
1952?
Easy, come on. And that really struck to me because I knew when I got on campus at St. Joe's, back in 1993 recruiting, I said it, that's where I was going to go.
Yeah, it's just when you walk on that campus, it's just amazing. I remember J.J. Jeffrey, who owns the station.
Yes.
J.J. was out there for an event, and he was telling us about it, and you're just so struck by the campus.
Yeah. And it
right
is
on
a
the
small
water.
community
Yeah.
of
Yes.
folks. We have just around 1,000 undergrads on campus, as well as a really robust online program, which is growing. So people can not only do their undergrad, but their graduate degrees there as well. So it's a community, and if that's what you're looking for, which many of our alums and our potential students, they just walk on campus and say, "This is for me. This is home." And I think that's the word we hear from alums a lot, even now. It's home.
You guys are hosting the state baseball championships this weekend.
We are, yes.
And I think that's one of the great things about it. It's an introduction for a lot of families to the campus.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely. Very strong athletic program,
Yeah.
baseball. well known around the state as well as New England and even nationally now. So.
Right, exactly. So, yeah, which is fabulous. And so I'm really thrilled you guys are helping these. They're great people. Gary and Lori, just
Absolutely.
fabulous people.
Yeah.
Krista.
Yeah.
Well,
we welcome all types into our family.
but I want to thank St. Joe's because after 20 years of all the events I've planned, all of the scholarship funds I've been involved in, all of those things, I don't know that I expected St. Joe's to be as involved or committed.
Right.
That's just kind of a wild concept to me that shows me that family orientation. And I don't know that where I went to school would be like, oh, gee, what can I do to help? And so to me, I just, thank you and for being here this morning. I just think there's all kinds of different levels there. So,
and we kid around with you a lot, but you're right. You're involved in a lot of charity work. And I agree with you. You guys being this involved, a lot of schools would not be. They would be, okay, we'll take the scholarship money, we'll hand it out, whatever you want to do, and move on because they do so much of that.
I think that really does separate us. You
Yeah.
know, I have friends I graduated with that will be lifelong friends that I talk to almost every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are a mission-based institution, and that's not just, we don't just preach that, we practice it as well. And, it's a great organization to be a part of.
Well, that's obvious by your presence here. So
And it means a
Couldn't be
lot
happier.
to us, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are going to have to go to break. But hey, it's beautiful outside. Gary, you could go out right now and start running and practice for this race.
I need to go to
running
work.
weather.
You got about a month. Guys, thanks for coming in. Really,
Thank
you.
for having us.
Good to
Thank
see
you,
all
Ray.
of you. And remember, July 20th starts at when?
9
9
a.m.
9 a.m.